Oh, it's just you.
Huh?
That was you and Sam.
No. Just me.
Oh, we were on live.
Yeah, I'm live. Alright, let's set this up.
I mean, like, if they have questions for me, you can just tell me.
I'll tell you, but you're not gonna be that popular. I hope you're not gonna be that popular. Everyone's like, yo, Baldwin, get off the camera. Brian, where's Brian?
What's Brian doing?
What's Brian doing? What's Brian wearing?
Wait, are we on? Oh shit!
Oh my god. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Panda Hobby. This is, I don't know, day something. Just a quick announcement to you guys. We're still closed again. But very shortly, we hope that the whole entire situation will clear up. So don't worry about it. We're still with you in our hearts or online. And if you get that little tiny little box or that giant box in the mail from us, then we're there in your place. I don't know, whatever. Something to do with some positive vibe out there so that we're all keeping our sanity in check at home. So, if you don't even know, we do have a Facebook and an Instagram page. Some of you guys are on our Facebook page and some of you guys are on our Instagram page. Just to let you know, we have both. So we are streaming live to you on both feeds. However, we do want to connect everyone onto one platform so that we don't have to do separate occasions to separate videos. So please go to our YouTube page and like our YouTube page, subscribe to it, just so that we can get up to 1,000 so that we can start live streaming to you guys and start doing our amazing workshops, because we do want to do some paint and build 101 workshops on our YouTube page. So please go to our YouTube page. It's Panda Hobby on YouTube. Just search it up. We don't have a special link just because we're still small, but let's change that. Next thing. If you didn't know, we have our new 30-minute mission contest with AK Interactive. This is completely Panda Hobby's contest. We just want to do something for you guys at home to, you know, build. So you guys have 14 days. You want to get into building, customizing. It is a contest for you to build your 30-minute mission kit, customize it using AK weathering products, grime it up, dirty it up, rust it up. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know, or check our page at pandahobby.store/contest for all the rules and guidelines for the contest. So that's all the information that we have right now. But regarding the contest, we just want to give you some ideas. You can create your guy like a design your 30-minute mission. Wow, it's a tongue twister. 30-minute mission in a military style, or like a steampunk style, or like a ninja style, or like a Zamboni. So your entire creativity is open. You can do whatever you want. We just wanted to have everybody to kind of get together and work on a contest while we're still stuck at home. Some of you guys are asking us, hey, sure, I want to get into this. I want to try this AK Interactive stuff. What do you recommend to use what do you recommend to use to weather your product, and what products to use for the AK stuff? We would recommend using, if you're advanced or you want to play with the oil paints, to use the Aptalone weathering oil. Those guys are actually look like this. So they're like these little tube guys right here. Tube, yeah. You know, it comes in like, you know, weathering an oil paint tube. So you squeeze it out, you put it on a piece of paper or cardboard to allow it to soak up some of the oil. You apply it with paintbrush or anything, sponge or anything application onto your kit. Rub it around, and after you remove the excess, or actually, like, you know, put it on the sides. It's essentially oil paint that's made for plastic, So it's pretty fun to work around. So Athlone has a very, very good range of paint colors as well. These random two that I grabbed is light rust and olive green. It's pretty cool. Check them out. And another one would be like the AK weathering enamels. So these are these guys right here. They're the entire spectrum and the entire list of all the stuff that you have. So they range from winter streak grime. So grimes that simulate winter streaking during winter. Yes, lots of words, lots of descriptive words today. Any other stuff, for example, this one randomly pulled, it'd be like dark brown. So it's just it's like a filter or wash. It's a dark brown filter wash that you apply on top of your kit. You don't know what a filter or wash is. It's imagine like a filter on your Instagram or on your picture, and it just changes all the colors to that pigment. So we have our first question. What are your thoughts on Armored Komodo? We actually have looked into that product before. However, we're not really too positive on it, just because it's pigments. Armored Komodo is essentially it's a color shifting pigment that you apply on a dry brushing or a rubbing style. But afterwards, I'm not really too sure if you can lock in the pigment with a top coat from preventing it from falling out, or to prevent it from scratching or anything. And to be honest, after you apply the pigment, you can't do anything with it. You can't do any post shading. Sorry?
Use phantom colors.
Yeah. So what Brian is suggesting is, if you like the color shifting, there's a lot of other ways to actually paint it, such as like crystal colors, or you can use any of the phantom colors from Modo. But other than that, you can't really do anything afterwards with it. Clear coat or aqua gloss. Well, you can try, but to be honest, it's not really that. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. I've looked at the product and I've actually like tried. It's it's easy to paint with an airbrush. It's really hard to actually apply with everything softly with a sponge. But anyways. What other products? Oh, weathering pencils. You guys, this is really, really good for those casual weatherers or the casual builders that want to do some weathering on their kits without painting, or even with painting, you can actually do it. Oh, okay. He's gonna bring us the entire kit. These are weathering pencils. You saw it. It looks like crayon. It looks like Crayola crayon. It is actually not Crayola crayon. This is actually amazing. It actually blew my mind out. If you take any of these, like this one, you can see it. This one is light rust. It is essentially acrylic paint dried up and put it into a form factor of a pencil. This is a paintbrush without the bristle and the wet paint and the entire mess of painting. You can actually apply this normally like on the edging or draw it on the sides, that kind of stuff. It applies on like paint. But afterwards, if you want, you can actually put some water on it, do some streaking, do some, like reactivate those pigments back. So this works both ways. You can apply it dry or you can apply it wet. So these actually are really, really cool. And even if you do end up painting, right, using a pencil format to actually apply on different areas to do weathering, it's a lot easier to apply than a paintbrush, because you have to control something wet. And then after, when you apply it and you add some water on it to reactivate that pigment, it's pretty cool. I actually think this is really, really cool. At first I thought this was, oh, it's just a pencil crayon, but seeing what this can do firsthand is pretty cool. And they're like really cheap. Anyways, these entire line, all the colors, you can do anything like that. Now, next, diorama effect. Some of you guys are asking me, okay, so you have the weathering enamels, you can apply, different streaks and grimes, but how do I do like the muds or the dirts or those kind of stuff? So I'm gonna pull some products for you. Oh, cool, thank you. my lovely assistants over here.
Take the pants off.
Okay, so these are actually AK diorama sets. These are pretty much like weathering in a jar. So you can do different types of stuff with it based on what the texture and what the product is itself. Sorry, just trying to see if anybody has a question. No. This is called snow micro balloons. So if you, let me try to get you a close-up of the picture. So these would be like snowflakes, small dust particles for you to actually apply it on top of, let's say, well, this is a picture of tank, so we're doing Gundams. We're doing giant mech warrior style Gundams, right? Applying on joints, on shoulders, on heads. Maybe the mech went down onto the ground covered by snow. You can apply that. There's actually different types of thickness and style of the snow. So there's like the light snow, there's the dark snow, there's heavy snow. So it's different textures and density of snow that AK actually offers. So it's pretty cool. Oh, so this is snow sprinkles. This is pretty cool too. I don't think you can actually see it from that the camera, but you got an idea. That's pretty cool. And then other stuff like your standard mud stuff, they even have a lot of options. So this one would be like dry mud. So you can apply it to different parts of, you know, the mech, mostly on the feet, or if you have like a figure, or if you have like smaller versions, smaller scales, kits, maybe a tank or a car or something, put it the under hood of the wheel or this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. But back to the 30-minute mission contest, definitely able to use this. And they come in a pretty decent sized jar. This is a small size, like that size. And then there's like a bigger size around like this size. So you can tell they're pretty decent size. You know, you can always use it for your next product. So it's not like a one-time shot thing where you buy it and that's it. That's for one kit, that's all you use, right? And they even have wet effect mud. No, we're closed, but we still have online operations, so you can still order our stuff on our website, and we still do ship regularly every single day. So the online site is still open. So yeah, that's all about the diorama effect. But the cool thing about the diorama effect is they have different styles of water too. So if you ever think about doing water, that kind of style, these guys are really useful. And oh, that is really cool. They have something called the Pacific Blue and Atlantic Blue. Yes, it's employees only. I don't know why he's here, but I'm just joking. So they have different colors of the water as well. Different oceans, different colors, I guess. And we even have the entire pack of resin water. Oh, there's good pictures in the back. So you could create different types of water effects around or on your kit. Now, and then I know a lot of you guys are asking about metals and different types of metal colors and metallic colors, because we all like Gundams, we all want to do our inner frame. AK actually has two different lines of metallic paints. So let me show you the two different lines. Whoa, this guy's gonna bring it all up. Whoa. Okay, so he broke it. No! This is extreme metal. It's okay. I don't think you should bring it all up. Alright. This is extreme metal. No, unfortunately we don't have metal parts. And this is true metal. So the difference between these two, this is an enamel-based paint. So it allows you to spray an airbrush onto your kit, and it won't affect anything else. So you can actually spray it, and it goes on really smooth. And I don't know if you can see it from the picture. You see how liquidy it is? So it's pretty smooth that you can apply it straight from your airbrush. You guys... We have thought about carrying Vallejo. However, we opted out with AK stuff. So we do have the AK acrylics. These guys. And then we also brought in an entire brand new line called the Aqueous. Aqueous. I don't know. These names are getting really hard to pronounce. Aqueous. So if you ever build any tanks or any tanks, or the older gentleman that builds tanks and airplanes and everything back in the days, these are the paints. They're back in Canada. We have the entire line. These are water-based. However, they act like lacquer. So they go on pretty nice. They don't have it's pretty nice color actually. We have the entire line over there. I don't know if you can see behind Yudi's butt. So that's pretty cool. And then just to tell you guys a secret, we're actually going to carry another acrylic line very soon. Hopefully in the next few days it'll arrive. So, yes, yes, we're gonna get more stuff during this entire shutdown. But just for you guys, we have brought in an entire new acrylic line. So first off is the Aqueous line, and then after that we have another full acrylic line. So Vallejo, not in the near future, but we have enough products for you to choose from that's acrylic alternative that suits all your needs.
It's like a better Vallejo.
Yeah, actually Vallejo comes quite a bit. And back to it, this is true metal. So AK's apply wax-based metal color that you apply on. So unlike conventional paints like acrylic or lacquer, where you apply on, and different viscosity of the paint causes different types of need to use paintbrush, this is actually wax-based. So you can actually apply on with your paintbrush, just kind of rub it a little bit, and then afterwards make it smooth. So it's pretty cool. So there, AK has two different types of line for the metal series. Of course, there's the other paints, but they're not really that metal looking. And then Mr. Hobby / Mr. Color also has their the metal stuff, metal colors too. Okay, so we have the DJ here changing the color, changing the music up.
I've never seen Demon Slayer.
What? Are you serious? Okay, so we like Demon Slayer here.
One, right?
No, what are you talking about?
No, Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah, it's the volleyball one.
No, that's... Oh, I can't pronounce that. What's that name? Haiku. Okay, so we love volleyball and hate Demon Slayer in this place, apparently. Oh, wow. You know, I like Gundam. I don't know what he's talking about. Alright. So on to the main part of the video, the Ask Me Anything. So if you guys have any questions, please enter it now into the live chat right down here below. We'll try our best to actually answer the questions for you. However, we do have already some questions beforehand. Some of the guys that, some of the customers emailed us or private messaged us and asked us. So we're going to cover it, but we're not going to name names just for piracy reasons. One of the questions is, a lot of people ask us, hey, I want to get into this hobby. What does the grade mean for the Gundams? Like, what is high grade? What is master grade? I don't get it. I just know that one is $20 and one is like $60. Like, what's the difference? So I'm going to show you the difference between all the different grades, right? So I'm going to grab you a high grade. This is a high grade. See?
Picked up better high grade.
Why? Hello. This is a high grade. Do we have any annoying customers? Of course not.
all right. Oh, I'm in it.
Who are you? Okay, I'm joking. No, honestly, we're in this business to really make friends. We're really there for everyone. We talk to everyone. I'm sure that if anybody of you guys online has ever came to the store, you understand that we try to make every experience, every time you visit the store, to be a genuine, nice experience. It's not like, oh, come in, you're not going to buy anything, get out. No, we want to take the time to understand what you guys like, what you guys want to do, what you guys are hoping to do, what you guys, like what you guys into. We have a lot of conversation with everyone, like, oh, what anime do they like, and what kind of models they don't like or they do like. It's not even just hobbies. We end up having like hour conversations with some of the guys about food. Turns out everyone likes tacos. I like tacos. Do you like tacos? Any other
Also,
questions?
I don't have any friends, so.
Oh wow! Turns out, yeah, we just doing this to have more friends. Yeah, right. Sorry, phone's kind of far. MG Dynamis. Oh, can I grab an MG Dynamis?
Sold out.
Sold out?
Yeah.
Sorry, bro, we sold
We have
out.
Barbatos though.
I even didn't grab one.
Sorry, we sold out the MG Dynamis. I thought we still had some. But anyways, back onto the question. This is a high grade. So for all those that don't know the difference between a high grade versus master grade.
Yep.
Big size, big box difference. So high grade, they have a little scale on the bottom. Right here. It is 100 times mostly, 100% mostly 1/144. What that really means is every 1 meter of the Gundam is like every like one metric of the Gundam model is actually 1/44 of the time, like the ratio. So it's smaller. So these ones are actually 1/100. So the scale is actually much bigger. So this one will come up to be trying to get a comparison for you. Let's say like this big. And then the master grade would be almost like double, a little bit less than double, maybe like this big. Oh, I actually have a master grade RX-78, exactly this one for you. Oh, yeah, thanks. Oh, grab me the mega size too.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys something cool. It's really cool. Best taco from Taco Bell, soft or hard? The best Taco Bell from Taco Bell is Maxi Melt, okay? That thing comes soft, ovened, baked soft.
What Crunch Wrap Supreme guy?
Crunchy Wrap Supreme. Oh, the Dorito one. The Dorito
Oh, I
one.
haven't had Dorito.
The Dorito is pretty good. It's pretty good. So keep it off camera. And this. And can you guys grab me a high grade? Oh yeah, just grab the Zaku, the black one.
Jimmy
Alright.
Zaku?
Yeah, Jimmy Zaku. So if you guys don't know, all of our display cases do offer a lot of room for you guys to display your work. So if you guys did any custom work, or if you guys are doing anything that you want to show off to the public, to our customers, please bring it in. What we try to do with the display cabinets is every 3 months we change it around. So you bring in a kit, you display it, 3 months later you come and you pick it up. If you want, you can actually display another kit, and then if we just switch it up. So all we ask is the kit is custom. So we don't want any straight build kits or anything, because it's not unique enough to display. Everyone's going to be bringing their straight build. But if you do anything custom with it or anything that you paint it with, we're gladly accept it. We're not going to be like, oh, this is ugly, get out, like, trust me, we do really bad stuff ourselves too. So it's just a process of learning and having fun and relaxing. Best tacos are from Playa Cabana. Where is that? Where's Playa Cabana?
Yo, best burrito?
No,
Habaneros.
best tacos.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. My favorite taco is actually down in the States, the Mighty Taco. It's a fast food restaurant. It's like a better version of Taco Bell. I love that stuff. I actually try to drive down every now and then to eat it, and then my wife thinks I'm crazy because we drive like 2 hours down to Buffalo just to eat Mighty Taco. But I like it. But alright, so all the kit size count here so we can show you. So this is a high grade, right? So a high grade scale would be this. Oh, I guess it's a really bad idea to bring you a black one in front of me because you can't really see it. But here's the high grade. Wow, you're just messing stuff up. And here's another high grade. So they are basic in details. You know, you will have maybe 3 or 4 pieces to create the forearm. You know, 3 or 4 pieces to create, like, you know, the legs, and then 3 or 4 pieces to do that. But the master grade would be more, and it'd be bigger. So this is a master grade. See it? Now let me show you the difference in the scale. I'll drop it. Oh, dropped it. That's the difference in scale. Now, you're gonna be wondering, okay, well, but real grade, I see real grade has the 1/144 as well. It's the same scale as the high grade, so why are they more expensive? Well, because high grade is like this.
You're a real grade?
They have, yeah, I have a real grade here. They have that many runners. A real grade is like this. Of course, to pick the bigger one, because it's new. Guess it? It's new. MG, I mean, the new Gundam. But yeah, this is just an amazing kit. But anyways, you see the difference in the size of boxes, and they come with that much more runners. So if you didn't know, all the prices of Gundam is based on the amount of plastic that they use. So more plastic means more expensive. And a good example of the difference in the real grade versus the high grade is the amount of details. So, so a high grade will have like 3 or 4 pieces in the front arm, but a real grade will have like 10. So this will be the good example where I can show you the real grade unicorn, which they dropped 3 times already. If you get this in a high grade, it'll be the same size, but it won't be able to transform. The real grade will be able to transform everything. So you see how half of it is actually in unicorn mode and half of it is in destroy mode? That's pretty cool. But they're the same size. Even the shield, like, pretty cool, right? Unfortunately, I don't have a perfect grade to display. So if you guys don't know, I've been working on my perfect grade XCF since launch, since it released. So it's been kind of a joke. Everyone's been making fun of me about it.
I'm sure everyone can see it.
You're gonna really show everyone about it? Jeez, oh
Do
my
it,
god.
do it, do it.
Oh god. Okay, fine. Apparently, we're gonna show you the perfect grade XCF. What I've completed.
The building mode.
It's still it's currently still being built. Just 1 piece every month.
I don't know about that.
This is the perfect grade XCF that I've completed so far. Ah.
3 years ago.
Oh wait, this one turns on.
I don't know, it's a long time ago.
Ooh.
Light it up.
Letting it up.
Oh.
And then it even goes to Trans Am mode.
Transameter break.
It's pretty cool. You guys are all asking me about it. I know. I'm gonna get like 50,000 emails asking for this. We're getting it soon. Okay. It's coming soon. It should be around like April, May when we get another restock of the PGXia. So if you're interested, please email me because the stock is on short on supply. So I need to know exactly how many to order. Alto or Portanova. Oh, so you want to know how big the Alto and Portanova are? Give me a sec.
I took mine home.
We still have one.
We have some in the front.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a sec. Yudi's gonna grab some.
Show them my Buster.
Oh, but before he shows it, this is perfect grade. This is high grade. This is master grade. Okay, and this is a mega size. Hi, Sam. Yeah, so mega size, very, very big, perfect grade, the most detail and the most detail ever created for Bandai. Master grade is pretty much the best you can get for the widest spectrum. High grade is just the most assortment and most variety. And real grade is just pure awesomeness in a small form factor. I personally really like the real grade. One of my favorite ones is the Strike because it has all the package. I can actually combine it together. But I'm actually looking forward to building the Zazabi and the new. So hopefully I get to it first. But here it is. Some example of what's this?
It's the Roy Roys having a party.
So this is 30-minute mission. Okay. So this is the 30-minute mission. These are pretty much high-grade style and the high-grade scale, but they are more articulated and more customizable. So as you can see, you know, they have more articulation. The knees bend completely. There's a lot of holes, peg holes around that allows you to do a lot of customization without too much building works, because you can just plug in certain weapons or stuff in there, right? It's pretty cool. And then this is Alto. I'm Team Alto. I like Team Alto. I don't know if you guys are Team Alto or Team Portanova?
Wait, no, we're Team Alto.
Are you guys Team Alto? No, I'm Team Alto. Are we Team Alto?
I don't judge. I don't see color.
Wow.
Finish it.
Oh no. Okay, so before this is
like
Portanova. Do I have any more IMG Barbados? Oh, you should have pre-ordered, man. We sold like a crate full. We're sold out right now. We're gonna get back some soon, hopefully when they reproduce it. And this is Yudi, is this yours?
Huh?
Who's this?
Brian. With the Buster?
Oh yeah, the Buster.
Yeah, it's mine.
Oh nice.
It's not done.
Okay, so this is the custom Buster that Brian's working on right now. Pretty cool. Trying to read all you guys' messages. This is really cool. I really like the Buster. Not Brian's Buster, but the original Buster. Like Brian's cool. Brian's alright too, but it's not the original one. It's not the original one. Alright. I'm just gonna move this stuff here. Oh, and one of the cool things is all the, I don't know why, but all the 30-minute mission kits give out this little crab thing, and you can combine it together. What?
It's the Roy Roys.
Yeah, what is it?
It's like their mecha like AI system. It like helps them.
Also, it's like they're.
It's a
like,
robot.
It's a robot.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of like to change the head to like.
Yeah, you can change your.
It can like ride the 30-minute kids too.
Yeah, so I was like, why is this so creepy? Why do you create this creepy crawly thing?
It's from Half-Life. The head crab.
The head crab. Yeah.
Oh, you can make Half-Life head crabs. Yo. Easy win.
Oh my god. Did you guys hear that? For the 30-minute mission, you guys can create Half-Life head crabs. It's an idea. You pretty much have all the stuff in there already.
It's probably not called head crab. People are gonna be.
Whatever, that's so generic. Just call it crab head.
Face hugger.
Face hugger.
Oh,
Anyway.
wait, yeah, they are. Wait, no, that's from Alien.
No, those are chest bursters. Not everything hugs your face, bro. Anyways, let's ignore that guy. One thing about the 30-minute mission is all the parts are interchangeable. So if you buy a blue one and you buy another Portanova red one, you can actually change different parts of it to the different colors without painting it. So it's an easy way to do some customization there. I'm gonna put that down, and I'm gonna put down this so that it doesn't fall and suicide.
Yeah, because that's Sam's.
Does anybody remember that?
Yeah, does anyone remember our weird
Suicidal Zaku.
Zaku that always loves to jump off our shelf? Yeah, so once upon a time we had a suicidal Zaku, a mega size, and every other day or every week it would decide to jump off the shelf and just disperse into a kajillion pieces. And then we'll always kind of put it back to, oh my god, like Humpty Dumpty! Yeah.
Is that also a face hugger?
Oh no. Drones like scouts. Yeah. So it's weird. So now we have to lock it back into like the bottom of our display cases so that it doesn't try to jump and kill itself. Cool. All right. So that answers your question for the grade system. So the grade just basically tells you how detailed it is and how, oh look who's back, the suicidal Zaku. Yeah, he's still in one piece. I'm actually quite surprised. Those things are built pretty sturdy. Like, it jumped down pretty, like, 6 feet. Still survived. And, yeah, so that answers all the grade system. Whoa. That answers all the grade system for the Gundam. And it basically just determines, it just tells you, it's like a stamp of approval. If it's a high grade, this is what you're expecting. That kind of detail, that kind of amount of pieces, that scale. If it's a real grade, you know, okay, we're gonna get the same size as a high grade, but the fingers move. Or the, you know, like, there's more movements, there's more details, there's more pieces. You can expect double the amount of pieces used. A master grade, you know it's a pretty good kit because of the size. Majority of the kit has a lot more weapons and a lot more details in it. Majority of the master grades, I think almost all of them, I can't remember which one doesn't, have an inner frame. So what an inner frame is, the mechanical skeleton inside. So you can have, you know, the pistons and the metal cages to show off your inner work if you want to. Like if you can take off the shoulder, you can see that there's a wireframe holding those armor pieces up. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, man, buddy, we miss you too, Jonathan. And yeah, so that, and then perfect grade is the 1/60. So you saw the Exia, that's the size of it. So it is the most amount of detail that Bandai can create in a kit. So every single joint. Well, that was quite scary. So every single joint moves, every single body motion, it best mimics the body anatomy the most accurately, and it has like the most details. Most of it comes with some kind of lighting mechanism, even though that the older ones are just like eyes and maybe the GN drive, but the newer ones like the Unicorn and the Ixia, they have like a full lighting system. So it's pretty cool, but you have to buy it separately. Where's Liz's shutout? Okay, what's up, Liz? Are you working today? Maybe you can come over here too. No, I'm joking. Stay home. Physical distancing. And so the PGs are that kind of scale. So you're paying the big bucks, but you're expecting a nice kit when you're finished with it. And there's a lot of pieces. Like it took mine like 3 years to build. So I imagine how much yours will take you to build, maybe a week. But anyways, that, and the next one would be mega size. So everyone's like, oh, I want a big kit. But the perfect grade, you know, it's like 200 plus, and then the mega size only like 150 or plus or whatever. Why is it so cheap? But the mega size is actually 1/48. It's bigger than the perfect grade. However, it's not more detailed. So imagine a mega size is just a high grade, but they just expanded all the size and make the pieces a lot bigger. So you have this giant figure, this giant model of it. So it's pretty cool. So if you want something that's just a big piece, a centerpiece that you want to display, then mega size is good. But you want the details of it, then the perfect grade. So we have all the assortment of perfect grades in stock, except for XCI, I believe. So you can check out online. We still do regular shipping, so you can order online and we'll ship it to you. Flat rate is $15 starting for shipping, and once you buy more than $150, it's $10, and then after that, $300, it would be free. We don't really want to gouge you on the pricing. That's just how Canada Post charges us. They're just really expensive. So can't do anything. We're in Canada, right? Stay safe. Thanks for helping. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Get your mind off of it, guys. Be positive. Let's go do something fun. Oh, and don't forget, we actually have a Panda Facebook group. So aside from our Facebook page, there's actually a group for everyone to show and post their work in progress, what they're working on, their previous projects. It's basically for any builders and anybody to just get together and know each other. So do join that. So go to our Facebook page, find our group, Panda Hobby Model Building Group, I believe, and just join it. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Let me just reconnect that. Give us a sec. So yeah, this doesn't ask me anything. So please, if you have any questions, please put it into the comments so I can answer them.
You know, if you buy two, you can have a centaur looking one.
All right.
So a four-leg spider thing. Spider? Whatever. Half spider.
I'll feel the crab.
Yeah, but yeah.
There we go. Reconnect it back. Alright, so another question. Okay, so the next question that we have from several builders is, hey, I have this paint. Open for pickup tomorrow. Sorry, we're not open for pickup anymore. So the physical store is actually closed. Just because it's a government order, we have to close. So there will be no physical pickup until the store reopens. So we'll keep you guys informed when that comes into effect or if things change. But right now, all our online orders are processed regularly. We can still ship it out normally, and so if you need your plastic fix, visit our website. Sorry, the phone is tilted. Will you be doing the painting tutorials like this or via YouTube? That's the thing. So, guys, go on our YouTube, find us on YouTube, and like or subscribe to our YouTube page. What we wanted to do is we wanted to put it on YouTube to show you and to teach you, because YouTube allows us to share the screen and then show slides and everything, because we have the entire presentation already created. However, we just couldn't do it. And it's really unfair for us to actually do it on Facebook and not on Instagram. And I know a lot of you guys on Instagram don't have Facebook account. And a lot of you guys on Facebook don't have Instagram account. So what we want to do is to get everyone onto the same platform, and everyone has YouTube app on their phone. So that's why, please go to YouTube and subscribe. They won't allow us to do the live stream without actually having more than 1,000 subscribers. So please go to our YouTube and subscribe now. So once we do that, I will be personally teaching you how to build 101, how to paint 101, and any of the other topics that we want to cover as well. So please do that. Have you made a diorama using AKFX and paints? No, I haven't! I didn't have any chance to do it yet. I've been really wanting to test it. I'm actually hoping that I would try some of the diorama paints on the 30-minute mission build contest right now. So hopefully I'll get that able to do that and try it out. But I've worked with some of the products before. It's just not specifically this brand.
No, it's okay. This one too I bought.
To answer that question.
The
Cool. We for Moto we actually have the top covers. Give me a sec.
looks like a
That one is too big.
looks like a hat. Looks like he's wearing a lampshade.
So Moto top coat is pretty cool. Moto top coat comes more bigger. This is actually 50 milliliters. So we have DX03 clear and DX04 flat clear. So this is glossy and this is flat. So you get a lot of bang for your buck for this because you can actually mix this up with 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 thinner ratio. So we do actually have that. Oh, thanks guys for caring. I frequently sanitize my hands, so don't worry about that. How often you guys restock them on bottom muscle? Oh, we restock quite often for that. We're just kind of waiting for a bigger order to put together instead of grabbing like 1 or 2. So we're just waiting for that. And a lot of the virus has affected our shipping as well and affecting a lot of our restock. So you kind of notice that before we have regular restocks almost every single week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. Those are crazy, hectic weeks. But thank you for the entire community for supporting us. It's been amazing, and we hope that you guys will continue to support us throughout this entire ordeal, let's say, so we can continue to bring you the best of the Gundam and the plastic modeling world. What's inspired you to open the shop? Oh, what inspired? That's a good question. So if you guys didn't know, I actually was in corp. I was in the 9-to-5 job. I did marketing. I pretty much worked on a lot of the consumer electronic stuff, such as like your laptops or your tablets or your routers and anything. So I worked in that industry for a long time. Quick question, Hello Kitty pre-order come in yet? We're working on the Hello Kitty one, so don't worry, we'll give you an update once it's live. So it pretty much just one day it's like, hey, you know what, like, let's try, like me and my wife is like, you know what, let's just try to open a store, let's do something that we want. I wasn't really having that good of a time working in corporate, and I pretty much just wanted to change pace. I just wanted to do something that inspires me and inspires you. I just wanted to do something that makes people happy, right? Because if anybody in here that's in marketing, you know that you pretty much get blamed for everything. Yeah, sales are bad, it's marketing's fault. Sales good, marketing didn't do anything. So, but yeah, so we pretty much did a leap of faith, and I guess it worked out really well. And it's all thanks to everyone in the community to support us, to allow us to be able to do this for you guys. And we, honestly, it's not really a thing to say. It's really comes down to the bottom of our heart, because we do get private messages from a lot of our customers, and we get words of encouragement saying, hey, you guys are doing a good job, and it really means a lot to us, because we do a lot of work on the back end. We do a lot of work behind the scenes just to make sure that everything runs smoothly for each and every one of you guys. And if we ever encounter something like a question that we don't know, or some of the guys like, hey, somebody asked me this question, I guess I didn't know how to use this product or this product, we actually have like a whole session where like, okay, let's figure this out, let's see what this product is actually doing. So we make sure that all the products we sell to you, we know how to use it, or at least how to explain it to you guys. So we want you guys to have a good time, just because we're really in it to have a good time. All right, what other question? Would you guys consider having painted samples of all the paints you guys carry and maybe donate? Oh, okay. Painted samples of all the paints? It's absolutely no. It's out of the question. There's over thousands of paints. There is. It's impossible for us to paint a sample, a spoon, a card, or whatever on every single thing. It's impossible to do it. So it's that. For a donation pool, like a shared commodity pool, that might be a good idea. So we might look into that. But depends on the depends on the project. You might not be able to share because like you buy a jar of paint and you go for it. That might like if depending on if your project uses all that paint or not. Like if you pick a white, your project uses all the white, you're not going to really be able to share. But if you pick like some kind of like fluorescent pink, then yeah, I guess you guys can share. But we'll actually look into that. Well, actually, that's a good idea. We'll look into that. Now,
Life story.
hmm?
Life story. Where you died?
Yeah.
Oh. There you're still going.
All right. So next question. Again, next question. Thinner used to paint. Oh, okay. That's actually a good question. So a lot of you guys that have never painted before, and it's actually starting to paint. You guys probably do what we all did when we first got into this hobby. We walked into a hobby store and we just go, okay, I'm gonna paint today. I'm gonna step up my game. I'm gonna do something custom with my kit. I am going to buy paint because that is the most scariest moment is when you buy a kit and you decide to not follow the instructions. I know, trust me, I got really scared too. But turns out it's very liberating. So without scaring you too much, there's 3 types of paints. There's 3 types of main paints that you need to know. We'll be covering this in Paint 101, so please like subscribe to our YouTube page. Just search up Panda Hobby on YouTube and find us. You'll see us the giant Panda logo onto the page. So a little bit about the Paint 101. The 3 types of paints in this hobby that most people use. Number 1 is acrylic. So acrylic is just another word for water. It's a water-based paint. It's the least harmful. It's the least smelly. So if you're at home in a small space, or maybe with kids, dogs, pets, you know, your neighbor or your angry mom or parents that's gonna kill you because they smell stinky. Yeah, acrylic is the way to go. However, they're easy to use. They're easy to apply. However, they're also easy to come off because they don't have the chemicals in it to actually latch on properly. So you might want to look into using the different other paints too. Oh yeah, that's a good point too. I'll go back to that afterwards. Second would be pause YouTube. So the second main type of paint would be enamel. Enamel is oil-based, so they're actually like the testers, the Humbrol, those paint bottles that you find in like Michael's or like the traditional hobby shops. They're the really like small little ones that were like they look like nail polish. They're very hard, but what I mean by hard is the end result of the coat is very, very hard. But also because it's oil, it takes a long time to dry. So you're looking at a drying time of hours. Very soon, Andrew. And then the third one is lacquer. So lacquer is actually a solvent-based acrylic, which a lot of people really just refer to as lacquer. It is smellier, it's more chemical smells, it's more harmful to your health in a closed environment, so you want to have air circulation. But the colors and the coat that comes up with it is very, very nice. So you get really, really nice shine to it. So that's why a lot of Gundam builders use lacquer, is because once you spray it, it just works amazing with airbrush. You just spray it on and it just looks so machine made. It looks like it just came out of a manufacturing line. So it looks really, really cool. And you can achieve really, really cool effects such as like metallic colors or pearlescence that I kind of find lacquer has a better color in those type of colors like metallics and pearlescence than acrylic. Just because of the whole chemical component in the background. But I'm not saying that you can't achieve the same thing with acrylic, but I just find that it's much easier with lacquer because there's literally just one bottle and you spray it on, or 2 bottles for the pearlescent top. But it looks much better. So those 3. Back to the thing. So you have these 3 types of paint. So you have your acrylic, you have an enamel, and then you have your lacquer. You have to understand which paint is actually acrylic, enamel, and lacquer. Aqueous, acrylic. Modo, lacquer. Mysticolor, lacquer. Accretion, acrylic. The weathering effects, enamel. Some of the other colors that we have, they're acrylic. So it's basically, it's pretty much, you have to know what type of paint you are actually getting. And if you don't, you just ask any one of us, and you will understand that you have to use the same type of thinner for your paint. So if you buy an enamel paint, you have to use an enamel thinner. The best recommendation we can give you is use the same brand. Go back to that brand and buy it. Don't cheap out and use, oh, okay, I have some Tamiya stuff. I'm gonna go and buy a Tamiya thinner. I'm gonna use it for, you know, like your Vallejo stuff. No, it doesn't really work that way. Yes, on the bottle it still says acrylic, acrylic thinner, but Tamiya has a different formula than Vallejo. Or, you know, like Vallejo has a different formula than Mr. Color. They don't work really well with each other. And if you're just starting out, I would highly suggest to stick with the same brand because it's much easier because they're designed in the same ecosystem to work with each other. So you might not have to waste all the time and all the efforts to do something and realize that, oh, turns out this thinner didn't work with this paint. It just melted off, or just it didn't apply. So it's something that, you know, it just saves all the headache. Just keep it the same brand. I know that money it can get pretty expensive buying all these different brands. So that's why I'm saying, like, find one brand that you like and just stick with it, and buy something on the side, such as you know, some acrylics or some lacquer, and just use it. But just make sure that you have the thinner. The thinner is not that expensive because it lasts you for a while. So just try it. Yeah, so I hope that answers that question. Just find back the thinner for that brand. Sometimes they won't call it a thinner, they call it a solvent or something. And sometimes they even call it white spirit. So for the AK stuff, the enamels, they call this the white spirit. So white spirit is just another term for the solvent to kind of dilute the paint. So you can grab the white spirits for the AK weathering stuff. Now, next question. Looking for a brush, what do you recommend? We get this question a lot. Okay, so you're in the hobby store. You're like, hey, I want to paint. I need a paintbrush. What do you recommend? So you have to understand what you're doing with the not airbrush, the hand brush. What are you doing with it? What is the purpose of it? Because each brush has their own different uses, and you pretty much kind of can step into another territory with the same brush, but it's easier to just get a brush for that specific use. For example, every single person that comes in always asks this question. They always go down this route. And if you're this person, you know, heed my advice and my recommendation. This will save you some time and some money as well. Every single person comes in. First thing they go, I need a brush. I'm gonna buy the smallest brush, the finest brush, because I want that brush to be doing all the details and all the detail work and everything. But then what happens is they end up using that brush for everything. So they get like a 0 or a 00 or a 000 brush, and they ended up painting their entire kit with that tiny little speck of toothpick bristle. And they come back and they're like, oh my god, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna guess I'm not good as you guys. My kit came out super paint strokey. I don't know how to make a paint stroke. And without knowing what equipment and what tools you guys have, our recommendation is well, you should thin out your paint. And then, and then, so what happens is they go back and they thin out the paint, but it doesn't really work out that well. It's because they're using a tiny little brush. What we usually recommend for people that want to paint a giant piece, or like, let's say you want to paint this piece right here, change that entire color to something else. You would want to use a flat head brush. So a brush that is flat on the top. Give me a sec. Alright, so, I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh no, what happened? We just lost our Instagram, guys. Are we back? Oh well. Hi Instagram people. I hope you guys come back. But yes, back to the brush situation. This is a very tiny brush. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but you see how small that brush is? This is what everyone ends up buying. But this is actually not useful for people that are starting off customizing or building. Because what happens is, you buy this one brush. You end up using it for the eyes, some metallic parts here, you know, bottom parts here, some details, Vulcans, and that's it. That's all you do. Now this brush, you can't use anything else. And they want to save money, so they end up using the same brush, and they want to start, you know, like they want to start detailing these parts and painting this part because they want to start improving their modeling and the customizing, and they end up just using the same brush. What happens is, paint strokes happen when the paint is not leveled. So when you run the brush through your surface, you're actually dragging paint across the surface, and you're creating kind of like a tidal wave effect. So this stays up, and they dry, and they stay up in that arc format, and that's what you get. That's end up what you get in paint strokes, is because the paint dries. But when we recommend you to add more thinner to make it more liquidy, you actually paint it on, and it allows the paint to actually flow back and smooth out. That helps you a lot with your paint strokes. But it doesn't help when you have a tiny brush like this, because you're pretty much like creating lines everywhere and, you know, doing anything. So what we usually recommend is grab one of the flat heads. You see how it's just flat on top? You can just do it 2 or 3 passes on the part, because it's such a big big piece. It'll just cover it. And then you can just, you know, do a separate action and that kind of stuff. So this one is actually pretty good for you to do piece painting. While other pieces like, you know, like these ones are more good for like detail working or other application as well. So each brush is good for their own purpose. And you have to understand, you have to think to yourself, what am I going to really use this brush for? Because remember, the tinier the brush is, the more expensive it is, because it takes more effort for the manufacturer to create the tiny bristles to make it pointy. But the application to a tiny brush is actually a lot less than a normal size brush. So like you can actually get away with a lot of uses of a brush like this, because you can use it for weathering, you can use it for shading, you can use it for actual pieces, piece painting, that kind of stuff. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, this is a weathering brush. The bristles are more harder or softer to allow you to achieve different effects. So as you can already see, I just pulled 3 or 4 brushes off the shelf. They have all different uses. So depending on what you want and what you want to use, it depends on what kind of brush you want to get. So just don't. A lot of people end up going in the same route as you just buy the smallest brush they can because they think I'm going to use it for the eyes. That's it. I'm going to use it for the panel lines. That's it. Okay, but what else? Well, what else are you gonna do? Right? You want to get the best bang for your buck. Now, also, a lot of people are asking us like, hey, I see that you have these brushes, and I see that you have the Aptalone brushes. I also see, Curry's and Michael's have brushes. What's the difference? These are Mr. Hobby brushes. So the brand creates the same paint. The bristles and also the bristles as well as all what was I going to say? The bristles are actually synthetic. It just allows you to actually paint with the lacquers better, because if you have like organic hair or anything, the ones that people usually use for like artists, you end up your bristles might it's not really made for those paint. It's not really going to do that well. So these are the synthetic ones. So it really makes more sense to use it for the lacquers or the enamel so that they just don't die on you. And the Mr. Hobby ones actually has a very nice rubber grip as well. So it's pretty good. The ones for the Aptalone, they're also new. They're also new. They come in packaging like this, and you can actually get this. Wow! Thanks. I look like a dad. Thank you. Jeez. Are you just calling me fat? I don't like you. Go away. Go away. Can I block someone on this?
Hey, don't block me.
No. You said this though?
No.
What's going on? Can I get a shout out for Liz? Oh, it's Liz's birthday? Yo, happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday, man. Yo, virtual hug. Okay. Yeah, we all say happy birthday.
Like
I don't know
Liz,
if you heard all
the
of them.
regular Liz that comes here?
I hope so. If not, I said happy birthday to some random Liz. Alright.
I'm sure sharing my birthday cake with her.
Online, I was wondering
One that I didn't get to get.
how fast delivery is in GTA. Okay, so we use Canada Post for anything that's within GTA as well as the Ontario province. What we saw is it took like a day to 2 to deliver. So if you buy something right now and we ship out around like 5 o'clock today, you pretty much get it maybe tomorrow or latest the day after. They're pretty fast, especially if we use the top service available just right underneath like Super Express. Like the next day guaranteed 24 hours. This one's like pretty good 24-hour delivery. Anything else out, then it takes a little bit longer. But I think we ship stuff all the way to the US in 4 days. So we're pretty fast on that. So thanks again for checking our site and supporting us, our tiny little shop. So thank you. But back to Liz, you guys are awesome. Okay, you get to be awesome today, Liz, because it's your birthday. But tomorrow, yeah, we're pretty awesome. There's a lot of, brushes there. If you have any more questions, let us know about the brushes. On to our next question. Oh, bye, Ralph. And then, oh, this is a good question. We actually get a lot of people asking us about this. You guys ever thought about carrying Gundam color spray? My personal opinion on this, regarding paint cans and spray cans, the reason why we don't carry spray cans is I personally believe they are really expensive. You pay around $7, $8, $9 for a can like this big, and you spray it. But you pay the same amount, like you get the same color for $3.99 with a jar of paint that you can mix out to be more than that can of paint. That's why we have the paint room for you, is so that you don't have to invest in all the airbrush and everything, all the equipment, so that you can just go and come in, spray, and then leave. It's actually a lot cheaper. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, you want to build a Gundam. You have multiple colors. Let's say your main color, let's say this guy. You see how these two colors? I'm going to paint the red, red. I'm going to paint the purple. You have two colors already. That's two cans. That's 20 bucks. But the red is more, so you have to buy another can. That's $30. But you want to, do you want to prime it? Some people believe that even with spray cans, you still prime it. I'm a guy that primes everything, just because I don't want to spend hours working on it and then afterwards have it come off or have it not showing properly or evenly. And then you have your primer. So that's another, you know, like another 10 bucks or whatever. And then you have your top coat. So painting a kit, it's like $50. But if you just come in and use the paint room, or you use and switch over to airbrushing, you spend, you know, $4 each for each of the paint. That's a fraction less than paint cans. So that's why we don't really recommend paint cans. And the paint that comes out of a can, it's much thicker. So you will have a lot of problems. What a lot of people have is they spray and they get lazy. They spray on a runner and then they cut it out. What they don't understand is that paint comes off so thick, you will have problems putting it together. If you put it together and from one side, like the two pieces of arm and put it together, you can actually see a big significant difference in the height between one part to the other. So yeah, like then it doesn't look good. Because sometimes if you spray this 2 times or the other one, oh, I'm running out of battery.
Which one?
The iPhone. Okay, find me a plug.
Yeah.
Jesus, this iPhone ran out of battery so fast. But yeah, back to my idea. So just paint it. It's much easier to do. It's much cheaper to do. That's why I don't really recommend spray cans. But we do special order. So if you do have like, okay, I want some Gundam color, I want this can or that can, we do order it and try it. So just email us at sales@pandahobby.store, and then we'll talk from there.
Oh my god.
Can you guys show some of the bags you have on the shelf behind you? Oh yeah, sure. If you guys didn't know, we actually carry these Gundam bags. It's actually officially
Charge that one.
they're actually officially.
Is it not on?
That's all.
It's on?
Is it charging?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's charging.
Okay, sorry guys. We had a emergency
Should be charged.
power emergency.
I have charger for
Give me a sec. Sorry guys. 50%.
What?
Do you have a charger on you that we can have?
Should be fine. I don't want to touch it. You guys have 50% of my battery, and then afterwards we're gonna have to sign off. But yeah, the Gundam bags. Let me just show you the Gundam bags. This is actually
The normal one.
the Char Series 1.
It's weird. Oh.
And then this is Arc 78 Series 2. They actually have a lot of hidden pockets as well.
Should wear it.
Yeah, I should wear it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll wear it.
Ready for school.
I'm pretty sure this backpack is cool enough that I won't get beat up.
No, it's so cool you'll get beat up.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this one's also really cool. The Series 2 actually have a spring mechanism that allows you to actually alleviate the weight of your bag.
It works.
The backpack. So it's pretty cool.
We brought that to Japan. It works.
Yeah, they used it in Japan. Theoretically, deliver from outside. I don't know, man. Maybe in the next few days, email us again. But right now, because of the government order, we can't legally do that. How do I fix Gunpla full stickers when it starts to appear? Ugh. Stickers.
You get water slides, that's like.
Yeah, water slides. If not, I just top coat it. Top coat it so it makes it like stick in there more. What else? This is actually Dom running out of backpack. This is a Dom backpack. It's pretty cool.
I also need a charger.
And then the last one is a goof. I really like this one.
I think.
It's pretty cool. You stay there. Okay. Alright, and then also if you didn't know, if you guys are interested in the bags, we also have these small pouches. One sec. So these guys they're pretty big. You can put like the whole way bigger than a phone or anything. So these are pretty cool. And then as well as you can actually put these bags. They have a string to it. People keep calling it like a messenger bag. I personally will think that this is more of a tool bag, so you can just shove all your tools in. Or like an iPad holder. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's all the bags. We have some small bags or cushions, Gundam cushions as well. They're all licensed. They're all officially distributed, like they're all officially licensed with, I think, Sunrise or Panda or somebody. But yeah. Any other questions? Sorry on Instagram, I keep like missing questions because the phone is sideways, so it's hard to read. Diorama sets like buildings. Regarding the diorama set, we haven't found one that are cheap enough as well as actually scaled to Gundams. So for us to bring something that is not made for Gundam doesn't really make sense for us. Just because you don't want a building that is not to scale of a Gundam, and then it doesn't really make sense. So we're still looking for it. Hopefully in the future, I think some of the companies, like some of the Japan companies, are making scale to 1/144 diorama sets. So we'll be closely monitoring that too. How you make sculpture line beauty? Oh, so panel lining. So a little. Give me a second. Regarding panel lining, there's a concept behind it. You guys can take this back. There's a concept behind it. You want it to be symmetrical, so your line on this side should match your line on that side. And there's a theory behind it. You want it to make sense in terms of mechanical wise, and it also has to make sense fantasy wise. Like, it makes sense mechanical wise because all the lines are the different parts of the metal and the armor plates touching or coming together. But at the same time, it also has to make sense in an anime style because you're not going to have like a giant line in the middle and then it opens up. Unless you design it that way. Always work with like 45 angles. So if you want, you can go like this. Like a lot of the 45 degree angles allows you to get a pretty nice cut in your kit. So like if you start off normally on the side of your arm, cut, then you can actually go further with it. Also, another thing is try midlines, like try to stop it in between. Don't have to go all the way to complete your design. You can actually stop it in the middle, you can come off a little bit on the side, you can just work with those kind of stuff. So on to chiseling, because I do have several questions from our customers about detailing and panel lining. I recommend there's several options to do panel lining. If you don't paint and you don't do anything, you just want to panel line and getting it over with, there's two methods that are very, very easy. There is actually a panel lining marker that Gunpla makes. It allows you to draw in the lines, and there's also a pour type. Everyone's wondering what's a pour type. I'm so used to the line that you draw in. I'll grab you a sample. So this is your standard panel lining marker. So it allows you to draw in the tip. So you see how the tip is just really, really fine? This is essentially designed for you to follow the lines and then just draw in the line. However, there's one called pour type, which you see on the top. Oh wow, you guys can't really see. But this entire tip is actually plastic. It's not a felt or it's not a marker. It doesn't allow you to draw the line. What it is a very watery ink inside. So you can dab on the line, and then it uses a capillary effect to pull the liquid into the line. So you have a very smooth, uniform line that you pull into and make your panel lines. So that's pretty cool. So if you want, you can actually use these on your bare plastic. It's actually designed for casual builders to put on their bare plastic and everything. However, you're like, oh no, I'm looking for, I want to paint in the future and that kind of stuff. You can use enamel-based stuff. So you can use anything over here, like anything like these ones to create a wash or the panel line, and then you kind of just put it on and then remove the surface layer so that only the lines are actually filled out. With these ones, you can actually get away with a lot of different colors. But if you're like, okay, no, I want specifically for the panel lining, we have Mr. Weathering Colors. So Mr. Weathering Colors, give me a sec, let me grab some for you. These ones. So these are actually thinned out enamel paint. Allows you to actually do a wash or filter. You might be asking, okay, this guy really keeps saying a wash and filter. I really don't understand it. So to recap, a wash and a filter is imagine like if you take a picture and then you just put a filter on top that's pink. Everything kind of has like this hue of pink, right? That's kind of what a filter is. A wash is what you want to add on top of the surface area, and all the crease and the divots and all the lines will actually be collecting in the pool of the paint, so it becomes more darker. So that's more of a wash. It's the same technique as a panel lining method, but instead of cleaning up everything else and just doing the line, you're actually making the entire area more darker. So that's a wash. So in these cases, these are actually thinned out enamel paint, so it allows you to actually apply with a paintbrush. You have to buy a paintbrush sold separately, and then to apply it on. Best part of this is instead of using for these ones is you can actually use this on top of painted kits. While these ones, they're kind of formulated just for bare plastic. If you use it on painted kits, you have a high chance of rubbing and ripping off your paint as well. But these ones work perfectly on painted kits. So if you end up using lacquer base, this one is perfect on top of lacquer. And if you end up using acrylic, then it's still good. You just have to test it a bit. We have sometimes it works perfectly and sometimes it doesn't, depending on what acrylic you're using. but they also come in a wide range of different types of color as well. So you can see there's like white, gray. We're currently sold a black at the moment, but try to use different colors. For example, your panel line doesn't have to be black. Actually, none of the panel line should be black. Majority of the time, your main color should be gray. It shouldn't be black, because black is so contradicting to your white background, your white model. You want to kind of like make it a little bit more subtle. So you want to use gray or off-white or that kind of stuff. For other situations, for example, brown would be really good for red, green kits. Then afterwards, if you want to be more sci-fi, use a purple, or apply the purple to your edges or your hydraulics. Make it look like it's leaking hydraulics or coolant fluid, or leaking plasma. Those details make your kit unique to you. So use what you're trying to tell a story with your kit. So you want to tell a story of what your kit has been doing and what it's gone through, to make it more realistic. People look at those details. It doesn't matter if your painting is completely within the lines and is perfect and crisp. They look at those details because they want to understand where you're coming from and what story you're trying to tell with your kit. So use those techniques, use those details to do that. So I'd say just go out and try it and enjoy yourself, because we're all doing this for fun. So it's not to be perfect or anything. You just want to have fun with it, right? So yeah, so that's panel lining. Now on to actual etching and scribing into panel lining to create your own unique panel lines. There's like the concept of panel lining, the theory behind it, it's just huge. It's just too much to cover in 2 sentences. So if I were to try, I would say make things even. If you're going to do a line here, do a line here. If you do a line here, do a line here. Do a line here, here, across here, on the side, whatever. Just make it even so that your model looks very symmetrical. You can go with asymmetrical, but it's kind of hard to pull it off with lines unless you have the kit designed in a way that it's asymmetrical. Now, second, you're like, hey, I'm looking to create my own panel lines. What do I need? Every single person comes in and asks us that, and this next question is, I don't get it. I just want one scriber. Tamiya has this one line scriber. Why do you guys have like a kajillion of them? Well, because there's a different tool for every single different need. There's different sizes. Exhaust look, using something better. Oh, I love exhaust look. Now, do you want exhaust as in like a machine exhaust or like a sports car exhaust? Because you can have burnt exhaust style. So like if you use a verniers or boosters or rockets, you can paint it in a way that it's all darkened, like it's from the smoke of the fire. But you can also paint it in a way that it's a high density, a high focus boost. So you can actually have like, blue, purple, orange, red color into it to make it look like it has a very, very strong burnt look to it. So that is it. There's also a lot of different types of that. You can actually get based on how you want to, like a booster on Gundam. So what I would do is, I really personally like the burnt tip look. So you know how you see like those sports import car, their tip of their exhaust is like a nice blue ring and a red ring? I really like that look. So what I usually do is I actually paint, I spray blue around, and then afterwards I cover it a little bit and I spray the orange around, and I just kind of work my way up in different rings and different sectors to make it look like it's a nice gradient change in the color. Then after that, after that, around the edges, like the fumes on the back of the thrusters going up, or around the bottom, I just kind of dab it a little dry brush with a hard bristle brush or a sponge, dry brush a little black parts and black pigments on it to kind of look like it's kind of smoky and burnt look ash area. But then the thruster is like just super bright so that it draws in the attention. What you don't want to do is you don't want to make the entire thing black. Like you don't want to go. What happens is a lot of people think that they want to weather something and they're going to go ham on it, and they're going to go crazy on it and make everything all black and dirty and everything. But what you get is you lose the focus, and you need something to bring your attention back into it. So you have a shiny object here, you lessen the darkened area on the outside, you kind of bring your attention to, okay, why is this darkened? Oh, it's because it's the thruster. So I would suggest using high colors like that on the thruster to make it look like it's a high intensity heat, and then all the area around it, just a little bit of a black pigment and that kind of, oh, black pigment! Oh yeah, perfect, I'll show you.
Nice.
This is Aptone's pigment line. This is basically pigments in a bottle. You can use this on your kits to make it all like dirty and grime. You can even use it and add water to make the puddles different colors too. Question, what panel lining and panel lining and painting course. We're going to go, so for you, go to our YouTube page and subscribe. We need 1,000 people to start doing our YouTube live channel. On that, we're going to start covering Build 101 and Paint 101. And also, we're going to cover what I like to call the fundamental theory behind kit bashing. Because everyone wants a kit bash. And what happens is, they all go, oh, I'm the kit bash. I'm going to take this guy and this guy. I'm going to take this guy's arm and put it on this guy. Ah, crap. That doesn't look good. How do I kit bash? And they keep asking the same question. How do you kit bash? So on one of the talks over there, I wouldn't say it's a workshop, it's more of a talk, is to teach you how to kit bash so that you can change your way of thinking and open more to the possibility of that. But back onto painting, we're gonna have a Paint 101 course on YouTube so that you guys can actually learn that. So this is the goal here, is to make sure you guys learn this stuff while you guys are at home, because we all know after this pandemic is over, everyone's going to be very busy with their life. Everyone's going to go back to work and they're going to catch up on work. So during this small little break that we have, we want to be here for you guys and to make sure you guys are taken care of. So please go to our YouTube page and subscribe, and let's get that number past 1,000. But back onto the pigments. These guys, you can apply it with dry brush and rub it around the area and make it actually darken. There's a whole spectrum of colors. I'm not even kidding. There's a lot. There's like tons of spectrum of colors. The difference between pigments and these filters and washes. Filters and washes have that kind of. Let me see if I can find a picture. I don't know if you can see this. Well, you see this. So that is what look like if you use an enamel wash to darken the area. But a pigment would actually have that smoky, kind of dry look to it, so you will get a better realistic result from it. And plus, it's really fun, because it's like playing with like have you kids ever like taken pencil and just shave off the lead and then just start rubbing it around? It's kind of like that. It's pretty fun. Thank you, new builder. Oh, don't worry about it. For all you guys new builders out there, like me, I understand. When I was new and when I was trying to build this, I was scared to touch, customize. I would be petrified, not following the instructions. I would be like, no, I have to do this way. I have to do this exactly the way it is. And I'm like, oh no, I can't do anything else. I'm not gonna even panel line because I want to keep it exactly how it is. But no, like at the end of the day, I realize whatever I do, it just shows who I am. Because all the mistakes, if I try it, the mistakes are there, is pretty much a proof that this kit is completely 100% mine. It's not everybody else's kit. It has a story, it has an origin behind it, and painting, kit bashing, scratch building, you break it, you make a mistake, there is 110 different ways to fix it. And don't be scared, because every single one in our group, as well as all your local clubs, are there to help you. If you have a question, just ask. Every single one of us is very willing to tell you, hey, you broke a leg, this is the way to fix it. Or use it as battle damage. That's kind of the joke that everyone's been talking about, but it's kind of true. You break something, just pretend it's meant to be. Just, paint the kit like it's broken. What I usually tell people, that my way of doing things is I have a general idea, a direction what I want to do with the kit. After that, I don't really follow the plan 100%. So for all you guys out there that you have this plan that you want to do this complete kit exactly how you're doing it, be flexible. Because what I do is I paint a kit, I do this kit, I work on the fly. Turns out I picked this color that didn't turn out the way that it's supposed to look like. Alright, change it. Go with the color. Go with how you're doing it. Be flexible. This is so liberating for you, because at the end of the day, you are 100% happy with what you did. Not 100% not happy, because no plan is going to work perfectly for your kit. No matter how closely you research, I'm going to use this paint, this paint, this paint, it's not going to look exactly what you expect. But what you can do is you just go with the flow. You just adapt to the situation. So at the end of the day, you'll always be happy for whatever that is going to come out, because you don't even expect it to come out. So I find that very liberating as a builder, to go with the flow. So just don't worry about that. Don't be super scared about trying. You're going to mess up your kit. You're going to ruin it. There's no such thing as ruining a kit. And best of all, because it's plastic, you can always repurpose it. We have a lot of builders, they build a kit, paint it completely, made it finish, and realize they don't really like how it ended up, but they're really proud of all the work that they did. Display for a little bit, destroy it, use those parts, and put it into a new kit. Done. Your kit has now been the base kit for something else. Your parts has been used for something else, repurposed for something else. So don't worry about it. How do you fix an elbow inner frame on? Oh god. Depends how it's broken or how whatever it is. Most of the time, I just say use some school glue or some super glue and just keep it in place. With RGs, they're very, very detailed, but they're also very fragile. I'd say my suggestion is if you ever bend or move your RG, the arm, don't hold it here to bend the arm, you hold it here to bend the arm, so that you put less stress on the joints and everything. Pre-order plans. So regarding your pre-orders on the account, if you actually go back to an account, you can actually see what you've ordered and what is fulfilled or not. So back to the new site, your account has all the information that everyone asks. When is your pre-order coming in? Well, we don't know exact date when it comes in, because Canada shipping sucks. It can be tomorrow, it can be next week, it can be whatever, but we have a time frame. So the time frame is actually listed in every single pre-order's product description. The first part will say ETA, estimated time of arrival, and it'll give you a buffer room. We don't know exactly when it is, because all our products is ordered directly from Panda. They ship it from Japan when it's released in Japan. So it depends on how fast it moves, and then customs releasing it or not. And just because we order a huge amount, it goes through a lot more red tape than everybody else. So that is part of the reason. Second part is you start noticing that every single pre-order product on the name also has an ETA date as well. So it gives you the month that it's supposed to arrive as well. And also, we have a Panda calendar. So if you go to the Panda and then underneath calendar or the middle banner on our site, there's a calendar banner and you can click on it. It shows all the upcoming events, events, restock, estimated new arrivals coming in. Anything that we have information about, we actually put it onto that sheet. And then for accurate release, if we actually get something like the Hello Kitty, we're getting it supposedly like these next few days. Once we get it, we post it on our website. We post it on social media. So you're going to get notified. And if you do pre-order something, every single pre-order gets an email sent to them when their pre-order comes in. So you also get that notification. If you don't get any of our emails, please add us. Just because our name, our email address is .store, a lot of your email accounts tends to think we're spam, so they just put us to spam. So if you don't get our emails, make sure to add us as your contact to make sure you get emails, because all pre-orders get one email out the moment it's ready. So no matter what happens, you'll get an email when your pre-order has arrived. Oh, done in store. Yeah, okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. We didn't think about that. We'll look into that. We're actually, these next few weeks, the question is, some people pre-order stuff in the store, but because they pre-order stuff in the store, they don't have it tracking on their online account. Did not think about that. Now, sorry. We'll look into that. But just a little secret, we're actually working on a lot of internal stuff as well to make your experience, your shopping experience, a lot better. So just stay tuned. We have a lot of exciting announcements coming up very soon once we kind of get everything sorted and arranged and done, for lack of better words. So that I'll put that on one of the lists to do. Anyways, on to the next. Now, back to panel linings and scribers. There's different terms for it, but we have a lot of different products for pretty much the same thing. It's just based on how you want to use it and what the tool cost is, as well as what versatility that you want. So for example, let me show you some. Let me show you the main ones that we carry. Grab that first. Let me just take them all off. All right. So before I show you the ones that actually have. Before I show you the ones that actually have a lot of different sizes, let me show you the ones that actually is more created as a single one. So this is Waves panel lining. It actually has one size. It's actually built in and reinforced. So you can actually use this for more dirty, more rough work. And the metal casing on top actually comes off and holds it on the top, or actually close to the bottom. So they come with different sizes, different shapes, round edges, flat edges. So these ones are pretty cool. Starts off at $12.99. These ones are good to try out, but they're more bigger in terms of size. So if you want to use it for panel lining your HGs or anything, you might not have the right size. These ones are good for like carving and doing other bigger works because they're reinforced and more sturdy. Now, this one is actually pretty good. It's a Waves version of multi-blade chisel. So it says chisel, but most of the times all these are used is actually a pulling motion. Please, unless for these ones that have a reinforced, it's actually built into the handle, don't try to push any of them. They're made in a very thin way to do the line. So if you push, you end up damaging it, and you actually end up roughing out the blade. So it's just more expensive on that. These ones actually come with 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Yes. So these ones actually already come in 4 different blades. So you just take this and put it on top, screw it on, and then you can actually do your panel lines. They can actually come in 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and 0.5 millimeter. So if you don't know, most common people use is around like 0.3 or 0.2. Those ones are good for like master grade lines. If you want to do more like smaller lines, it'll be 0.2, 0.1, 0.15. Those lines are for like more detailed pieces for smaller kits. But your average go-to line would be like a 0.3 or 0.2 millimeters. So this one is pretty nice if you want to just start off, get the majority size, and just kind of forget it, do that stuff. Oh my god, I'm losing my voice. Now, Mr. Hobby creates 1, 2. This is very easy to use. It uses a hook method, so it allows you to actually dig into the material and pull. This one is actually the handle with the blade on top. See that? I have like high definition on this side. I don't know if you guys have high definition on your side. But the handle is there, and it comes with a 0.3 hook, so you can actually do and pull and carve your lines. All you have to do to switch the sizes is to actually grab another size, just pull that straight out, and then just put a new one in there. There's also a guide in there made so that it only goes in one direction. So your handle and the blade will always be in the same direction. So that's pretty good. This one is rarely available most of the time. Most of the sizes are in stock. And our newest addition is actually MadWorks. We've been very happy to carry MadWorks because they have a more wider range of advanced builder parts. So you have all the different types of chisels and scribers as well as the tapes. So these are tools to make your own lines. Yes, these are panel line scribers, chisels. The term is just all over the place. Panel line scriber, panel line chisel, same thing. Some people will argue scriber is the one that you pull and it's a hook. Some people will argue that chisel is the one that you push. Majority of the ones that you get from here will have that look of a hook and a chisel to push, but we do not recommend to push because it ends up damaging your blades and dulling your blades over time. So even the one that looks like it's just a giant wedge, which I'll show you here. There we go. That, don't push, just pull. Just put it down and then pull. So these ones are actually the ones that you create your lines with. Well, all of them are. MadWorks actually has several different types. This is MadWorks Light Edition. This is MadWorks DLC Edition, Diamond Light Coating. And this is MadWorks Tungsten Edition. So best to explain this is the MadWorks Light Edition is a shorter blade, allows more easier to use because the shorter it is, the more easier for you to control it is. And it's also made in more of a lighter material. I think it's a different material than this one. But because it's a less material and it's a less material that they use, the cost is cheaper. So this is a very good entry-level ones that you want to get. Just to get it and just plop it into any of the blades that you have. Just twist it on, hold it, and then just start carving. Now this one is diamond-like coating. So this one is a more reinforced and made it more stronger, and then coated to make it more sharper and durable. So this one allows you to actually have more finer lines. They also have different types of sizes. Of course, this one has more sizes than the light version. The light version, I think, only has 4 or 5 different sizes. Well, this one has 8 or 9 different sizes, and a hook and a needle size too. And this is their newest one, the MadWorks Tungsten. I'm pretty sure if you guys have all been online researching and everything, you always come across this brand called BMC. This is essentially the copy version of this. It's as good, but fraction of the price. It's actually really, really good. they use a tungsten materials to make it more solid and more sharp too. So this is like the version 3 of the chisels. So as you go through, you can just try the chisels. You can actually mix and match of them because they all come together and they play nice to each other because they all just fit into your blade as well. Now, some people ask like, okay, I want to get working on chisels, but then they're trying to pull it and they ended up like, you know, it's going all over the place. Yeah, you want to do a light line. You don't want to do like what the tip. What I'm trying to tell you is, when you're carving, you don't want to just go one at a time. You just go and then just create your entire line at first. What you want to do is you just want to draw a line very tight, very lightly. Turn it around, draw another line on the same place. Just kind of just slowly and slowly just create that line. And then you might be, hey, it's really hard. I tried it. It's not really that easy. This is where it comes. These are where these products come into play. Do you prefer to hand brush or mask airbrush highlights, shadows, or? That is a good question. I'm 100% an airbrush guy, like 100%. I'm not artistic. I'm not somebody that is like born with like, you know, Picasso's like crazy amazing drawing skills. I'm not. I'm your average guy. So when I tell you if I can do this, you can do it. I'm not lying. I'm really bad at it. So when it comes to airbrushing, to me it's all. It's all machine. It's a process. It's just step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and the result just looks good, I guess, decent in my case. But I do prefer airbrushing. In terms of detailing, it really comes down to what detail and what detail I'm trying to do and what the model is. A lot of people think about it in a way that's very straightforward. What I'm trying to teach people is to think outside the box. For example, if you have a kit and you have this piece, let's say a shield, and you have like, oh, you have to paint anyways, I don't have an example right now. But let's say I'm like, oh, I have a shield and I have to paint this part yellow and then this part red. And then 9 out of 10 times, every single person does this. They take the yellow, they mask the yellow part off, they paint it red. Then afterwards, they go back, remove the yellow, they mask the red part off, and then they paint the yellow. No, that's a waste of masking tape. That's a waste of time. What you do is you paint the yellow, you mask the yellow, you paint the red, you peel it off. Now you have your red and your yellow. Or you have different ways of doing it, like to kind of bypass the masking part. So if you have a certain piece that's like, okay, I have my arm, this piece is white and this piece is black. So don't mask one side and paint it white and mask that side and paint it black. Just paint the entire thing white. Then after, mask whatever part that you have that you want to remain white and paint the black. Then you just save half of your work for masking. So other details like Vulcans or any of the other details, I don't even bother masking that area on spraying it. I would just hand brush it, hand paint it on. I would use different ways to actually, because I hate masking. I personally hate masking, so I do everything possible to avoid masking. So I ended up just figuring a way out to paint it and detail it in a way that it won't mask. Or reverse wash. Reverse wash is pretty good. I have the standard cutter, tweezer, and files, but looking to get more tools. Any recommendation? It depends. There's no set recommendation tools to everyone starting. So you wouldn't, like, your requirement isn't the same as somebody else's requirement. It depends how much detail you want to go through to build your kit. I want to do scratch building. I want to do customizing. That's two different styles. Scratch building is something that you're creating something from scratch. You're basically taking plastic and creating your shape and parts to put onto your kit, make the kit completely. Customizing is different. Customizing is I'm taking a shield and I'm cutting it in half, or I'm taking a shield and carving lines out, or I'm taking a gun and cutting that part off, or gluing it onto here. So those tools are all different. You might just need a micro saw for just to cut, or just chisels to create your lines, or cement, or putty to do that stuff. But if you're looking at like scratch building, then okay, then you need like definitely cement, you need definitely putty, epoxy putty. A quick tip for putty versus epoxy putty: putty is air dry, so you have to apply light coats and allow the surface to touch the air to dry it, to cure it. So if you end up like squeezing a whole like a whole funnel of it to fill into a part or to create like a ball, the inside is not going to dry. You're going to end up having this sit for days and it's not going to cure because there's no air contact. Epoxy putty is the one that you get that comes in 2 tubes, or the ones that comes in 2 different colors, and the instruction tells you to mix it and play with it and then to apply it. That's a chemical cure. So the 2 compounds mixed together will cause the chemical reaction to cause it to harden. So that's the type that you want. Excuse me. That's the type that you want to actually use to mold and create stuff like a horn, or to fill a part, or to create a shield. Those are the epoxy putty that you want to use. And then yeah, so back again to the tools. It depends where you want to go from there. I always recommend people to to paint first, because painting is very, very easy for you to get into the hobby, because you can systematically paint a kit. You can take this kit, and if you're if you're like me, I have 0 artistic skills at all. I don't know how to paint this kit. I don't even know what color to do it. Follow the kit. You have a designer that's already did it for you. Just take out a light blue, change it to another color. Take out a dark blue, change it to another color. Just separate all the pieces and paint those pieces separately, and then put it back together like a puzzle. There, your work is done. That's why I always encourage people to paint first, because it really helps you kind of get... remember how I was talking to you about being anxious and being scared of damaging your kit or messing up your kit? That really will help you to get over that, because once you learn that, oh, that's not too bad, I can do a good job, or it looked really nice, a lot better than I thought, then you can start getting into, more customizing, more adding this, more adding that. Because 9 out of 10 times, or 10 out of 10 times, if you just jump straight into the deep end and go, oh, I'm gonna full kit bash and scratch build and everything, because you don't have to experience. Everyone is not going to be good the first time that they do something. You're gonna fail. It's gonna come out and you're not gonna get exactly what you want, and you're gonna get discouraged. So why do this to yourself? Baby steps, just do that. So your questions about what tools, I would suggest getting proper tools first. See what kind of nippers you have. Get a nice, decent one. If you're using like side cutters from Home Depot, get an actual model one. It saves you time. If you have like, oh, I have do you have a knife? Oh, I have an X-Acto knife that I push out. Don't do that. Don't use that. The reason why is because those ones, they don't have a reinforced blade. Or break the blade and it's gonna go flying into you something, into your model, into your face. I don't know, but don't do that. Get a hobby knife so that you can have a better control into it. Believe it or not, like we go through hobby knives like crazy. Like the blades, after a kit or so, once it starts getting dull, we just chuck it. We just exchange the blade. Just because if you have a nice clean blade, it makes it so much easier to cut and shave off your num marks and then to do that stuff. Third of all, files is a very good question. There's 2 types of files. There's a file that helps you manage your num marks, to manage your shape of your piece. So these are the files that are usually very fine. There's usually it's flat or certain shapes and just gradually getting more and more smoother to allow you to get rid of that number. But if you're going to paint, you don't need to be perfect. Your piece doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be flat, because your primer and your paint covers covers your num marks. Oh, I'm gonna lose YouTube. I'm gonna lose Instagram, guys, in 2 minutes. Why is that?
Running out of battery?
No, it's gonna cut.
Because it's been too long.
Maybe. But anyways, see, this is why I need you guys to subscribe to YouTube, so that I don't have these problems with this like ending of my live features and everything. So go right now to go to our YouTube page, Panda Hobby, and subscribe. Get us over 1,000 people, 1,000 subscribers. Now back to the tools. There's 2 types of tools. There's 2 types of files. The one of files that helps you work on your num marks, and the other ones that actually help you shape certain stuff. So bigger files or more reinforced files, you'll see a big difference because they are more rougher. They give you the flexibility to actually shape and carve into, like, make your piece into a shape. So those files. So if you're looking into scratch building or to do stuff like that, look into the big files. Like we have like the Raptor, R-A-P-R from Mr. Hobby, and then also the bigger, more sturdier files. Those are really good for actually doing carve works to really get the shape going. But if you're looking for like fine files for yourself, you can always go with different file options, such as like metal files, sanding sponges, sanding sticks, sandpaper, those kind of stuff too. Oh, we just lost our Instagram, guys. So give us a second while we just try to Let's redo this again. I don't know why Instagrams keep cutting us off.
Just end it and then start a new one.
Yeah, I just did it.
Maybe they don't want you to make it too long.
Maybe. Anyways, down to 35%, so we might be cutting this off in maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Back to the thing. So that's the files. What other stuff? If you tend to paint, if you want to paint, I would suggest going and getting actually paint sticks, the paint stations. Like these guys, as well as these ones. These ones are called reverse clips. They're pretty cool. Instead of closing and clamping, they're actually open, so that if you have like a barrel or inside of a head or something, you don't have any area to clip on. You can actually just open it and hold it in place. I actually like these a lot more now than the other one, because you can just it won't damage it. You're not clipping and grabbing tight. Do you have suggestions for custom LEDs? I don't actually have any suggestions for custom LEDs, unfortunately. We are looking into getting the Bandai LEDs, but it will take us some time. But right now, we don't actually have any recommendation for LEDs. And also, one of these guys for your workstation. This one allows you to just put all the sticks in there and then to let it dry. Because the worst thing is, you paint it and then you just put it down on your table, and it just ruins that paint job, right? So you want to keep it suspended in the air, and it also helps you air dry certain things too. Yeah. All right, and then any other tools? It really comes down to which route you're going. If you're going more to painting, I would suggest spending your money more on painting stuff. If you're going more on scratch building and doing that, I would suggest playing around with the putties. We have a lot of selection of different putties and a lot of options as well, so you can try those. I still would recommend going and trying painting first and get familiar with painting first, because if you end up scratch building, you kind of want to paint it, right? You don't want everything to look like, you know, like off-white yellow. Will be running once they are available in the States. We are trying. Okay, honestly, P Bandai is something that we are constantly trying to do. The States has nothing to do with us, to be frank. And I've been trying to explain to everyone, this is how it works. Bandai is a big company, and Bandai is very popular in the Asian countries. They're not popular here, even though you're like, no, everyone builds Bandai, builds Gundams here, and everyone knows it. They don't buy from local stores. So what happens is Bandai looks at all these sales from Japan sites and Japan companies, and they're like, oh my god, the market is amazing. So they do stuff for that market. They only care about that market. They don't know that like a giant chunk of those numbers are from us, from Canadians, or from North America. So they don't care. They don't see there's a need for it. So that's why I keep telling everyone, even buy locally, buy people that own Canadian owned companies and Canadian stores, local stores, your local hobby stores, because those numbers show up in Bandai's record. Then it will only prove that there's a market here, and then they will decide to come here or not. They don't care if you don't see the number. So again, please, you can support us, buy from us, but even if you end up not supporting and buying from Panda, please buy from your local hobby shops. Please buy from your local Canadian numbers to show Bandai. I've constantly been bugging Bandai and telling them like, hey, we need more stuff here. They don't care. They're like, your market's too small. You guys don't have the size. So we need to prove them wrong. The States got it because only the States recently started getting everyone buying locally. So they're like, okay, I guess the States have it. But that doesn't mean that Canada has it. I've talked to them. I've said, hey, if the States has it, why can't we have it? And they're like, nope, it doesn't matter. Like, they think that the States is the States, including Canada, but they don't think Canada is separate. So anything that they do to the States includes Canada. But anything that, Canada gets separately, they don't count it. So we don't get P-Bandai. So it sucks, but we are trying to create a system for it to get cheaper P-Bandai. But what happens is the shipping, the customs, the stocks, it just ends up running up the cost. It really is. It's not something. It's something that we are trying to actively look into. But right now, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. So hopefully, as we get more and more established, we can try to drive down the cost. But right now, it's nothing that we can do. So that doesn't have anything to do with us that the States getting P-Bandai. The States won't even sell it to us. How's your stock on Seed Wing and Seed Destiny Kids? I'd say they're pretty good. You can check it on our site. There's another thing if you guys didn't know, on the site there's actually filters on the left hand side. If you go into any of the collection page, any of the product pages, right, on the left hand side there is filters. You can filter by grades, you can filter by scale, you can filter by Gundam series. You can go and click Gundam Seed and it will pull up all Gundam Seed kits. You can be like, okay, I want high grade I want high grade Gundam Seed kits, and then it will just pull up all those kits for you. We're actively working on out of stock filtering, just so please bear with us. There's just a lot more complication behind the scenes than it is to actually fix it. I too thought the same. It'd be like super easy. I just click a button and all of stuff is gone. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. Turns out there's this huge thing behind it that is just, we've been trying. Trust me, we've been trying. I've been constantly doing this. But there's a filter stuff. Not just Gundam, but you can filter all the other stuff too. So if you go into it, you can filter non-Gundam stuff. Like you want to see One Piece stuff, you want to see this stuff, that stuff. The filter works so well that you can actually even go into paints and filter that. So if you're looking for a paint and you're like, hey, I want a blue, you can filter out blue. You can go there and click blue, and it will show you all blue colors. So you're like, okay, after that I will filter all acrylics. Okay, I will show you all acrylic blues. Or no, I want to go with this brand. I want to go with Mr. Color because that's the color that I use. Then okay, it will show you all that. Like, try the filters out. It will make your browsing experience a lot more easier. Okay, excuse the reach. I can't read that far. yeah, so a little bit back on how the market works. Amazon, yes, is cheaper. But what you're ending up doing is you as a customer, you as the buyer has the power, you have the money. You're not putting money back into the Canadian economy. We do. We support local clubs. We do. We support. You know, we pay the rent. We pay the tax. We have amazing employees, amazing people for you guys to come in and do it. Amazon's not. Is this guy literally? This Amazon is just one dude that buys it from I don't know where. We buy it directly from Panda. We get the proper channel. These guys just, I don't know where they're getting it from, and they just put it all in their basement. They don't file taxes. They don't pay for your economy. They don't pay for anything. They're not even in Canada. They're probably in like, you know, like some Asian country or whatever. You're gonna get it cheaper. But what you're not ending up doing is you're helping us make a case to Bandai so that they give us more stuff. It's because of us. It's because of you guys that started buying locally. We got the Avalanche, we got the Turn Red, we got the PG Turn Red, we got all that released in Canada as a normal release. It's because of you guys. It's because of that. Those are not regular releases in Japan. They went, okay, I see there's a more, you know, a more local sale and a more market sales in Canada, so they're gonna try something. They decided to give us what was it, the first one? I think it was the Avalanche. They're like, okay, we're gonna give you the, no, it's the XN Riser. Okay, we're gonna try the XN Riser. And then it went crazy. Everyone bought it locally.
Turn Red. Turn Red was the first one.
No, I think it's the XN Riser. The XN Riser was 2 years ago. But yeah, they do that. And then they're like, oh, okay, that's amazing. So then they start working on the other stuff. So hopefully that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to, like, I constantly haggle them. Like, I'm super annoying. I constantly bug them and be like, yo, bring some Panda over. And they're like, ah. And I'm like, yo, come on. They're like, ah. Like, they don't even have any of the stuff. It's only recently we start having, like, you know, cool stuff like GBWC and all that stuff, right? But we don't even have half of the stuff that the US has, because the numbers just don't show. Everyone keeps ending up buying on, you know, Japan sites or anything. I'm not saying, hey, you have to buy from Panda. I'm saying is buy from your local shop. If you don't want to buy from Panda, that's completely fine. Buy from your, you know, your local shop, your around the corner shop. Don't buy from Amazon. Even if you buy from Amazon, make sure that Amazon account, that person selling it is legit. He has a store, you know, like it doesn't even make sense. Like, you're paying your money and then your money is going to these people that are not spending the money back into your local area. So to me, it's just kind of confusing. It's like you're giving money to Japan, and then Japan's like, oh, we have so much sales. We have so much like cool stuff, and you're like, oh, why don't we get any nice stuff? Well, that's why, because you're telling Bandai that Japan is where all the cool stuff's supposed to go. You're not saying like, hey, Canada, like we have cool stuff too. You know, that's what happened in the States. Everyone's kind of got noticed, like, oh, okay, we're gonna try to boost up the numbers, and then that's what happened. They start getting cool stuff. They start getting all this stuff. So that's like I've been telling to the guy, and I'm like, hey, you know, like, can we get some too? And he's like, maybe in a few years if our number goes up. So that is the industry secret. Just, you know, keep in mind, like, you guys are the customers, you guys are the consumers. You guys have the power whatever you do with your money. You can save a few bucks, buy it on Amazon, buy it on Japan sites, that's fine, but it doesn't actually help you guys get cool stuff. So if you guys want to save a few bucks, don't be the same people that complain about not getting the cool stuff or the cheap stuff or whatever, those kind of stuff. This is the reason why. And have you noticed that recently we've been getting a lot of orders cut? It's because of that. We have a bigger demand, and they don't believe us that we have the demand. So G40 cut. They're like, oh, you guys don't need it. You guys don't need that many. So we're gonna delay. Oh, this cut, that cut. Oh, by the way, RG Eva cut. So yeah. So you decide what you guys want to do, right? Let me just. I've got an interesting thing. Okay, so regarding the out of stock stuff, we try to get everything in stock. We basically are the only store that whatever is available, we get. Like, you just see us on restock day. It's like it's just hectic. Okay, Like we make it clean in the front, but it's hectic. It's like
Why in the back?
30, 60, 100 boxes in the bag just flying everywhere. We're just freaking out because everyone's like calling us saying like, hey, is this in, is this in? Like we make it very clean, but you know, we try to get everything. That's why there's actually a restock notification in the product. How this industry works is Bandai doesn't create everything all the time. Some of the kits, they don't produce, so we can't get it. Since we buy directly from Bandai, there's nothing we can really do. Whatever they produce is what we get. So, long story short, if they don't make that kit in 6 months, we don't get it in 6 months. It's not that we choose not to buy it, it's because they don't have it. It's how Bandai does stuff. Because they make everything in Japan. They can only produce, let's say, 100 kits a month. That's what they do. They select which 100 kits they want to do. And sometimes they make a very bad decision, like the MG Dynamist. I don't know why they end up producing it the second round after a freaking year, but that's how that's what happens. So it's kind of weird. Back to this question. Okay. But yeah, so that's a good insight on the industry, so you guys know what's going on and everything. You'll start noticing that after explaining to you, you start noticing why certain people do certain stuff. For example, certain Japan sites decide to sell things that are super cheap. You know why? It's because when they show the numbers of them selling super high, they then try to get the most amount of stock. And then they sit on it because technically Japan is not that high. It's because of us that buy from the Japan sites. And then what they do is they try to sell it and try to get the numbers up higher and higher and higher so that they can get the cool stuff. So if you want the cool stuff, buy locally. Buy from your local hobby shop. And of course, if we happen to be your local hobby shop and you love us, you buy from us, thank you, because we really couldn't have done this without each and every one of you guys supporting us. But if you end up choosing to do something else with somebody else, that's great. They will love your business as well. So as representing them too, thank you for supporting your local business. Okay, back to the question. What was the last question? I totally like trailed off there. Panel lining. These ones, if you want to try starting panel lining, try these. Okay, these are scribing tapes. So they're essentially a thicker tape that allows you to actually tape onto your kit and allow you to just put your blade beside the tape and just pull so that you don't have to freehand it. If you're like me and you have just, you know, then this will help you. Another tip is to get one of those flexi rulers, like a really soft ruler or any guiding measures, and take a pencil and actually draw out your lines exactly on the kit. Because you're gonna paint it, so it's gonna come off anyways. So draw all the lines and then design it. From then you can see, okay, I like this line here. This line doesn't really look that well here. So you can actually work on those lines and see how they look together. After that, then you can follow the lines and scribe. So it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, so the scribing tape, we have two brands. This one is actually from HiQ. They make amazing decals. If you guys want some generic or cool general decals, they make a lot of cool decals, different colors, as well as like foil and special coating as well. So they have a 6mm scribing tape, and then they have another one, but I forgot. I think we sold out of that one. But MadWorks also has different sizes. So this one has 6mm, 4, and 10mm. You might be thinking, why do I need different size scribing tape when I only use one side? Because, you know, one side is just one side. It doesn't matter if it's thick or thin. There's a lot of different ways to actually use the scribing tape. Let me give you an example. You can actually get a 10mm. Instead of pulling it and putting it onto the piece, you can take it, put it onto your cutting mat, cut your shape out. Cut this angle, cut that angle, cut a whole puzzle out, and then put it onto your piece exactly like that. And now you have perfect lined up pieces floating in the air, just like, you know, put it onto the pieces. Now you just follow the lines, follow the lines, follow the lines, and there you have your design. You don't have to use it exactly like it's a tape, so you can just do one line, You can just cut it in different shapes. A lot of advanced builders, they actually get a bigger piece to cut different shapes that they want and to put it on. They use thin sheets, and majority of the time people use 6mm because you can actually use both of both worlds. But they use thinner sheets to actually get that fine details around a circular, like if they have a shield or like a shoulder, they want to pull that piece all the way around. They want like a thin piece because a thick will end up giving you a lot of tension to actually raise your edges and not bend properly. But a thin will allow you to kind of curve around and create your shapes. So that is pretty good to work with too. Because it's a hard plastic, well, not hard plastic, a thicker plastic, what you can do is you can kind of get away with it by sticking on twice or keeping it on, reusing it. So don't throw it out right away. Try to kind of get the best use of it, right? But yeah, so those are cool. And one of the other things that I want to talk to you about is the scribing template. If you guys didn't know, MathWorks actually make photo etch scribing template. What that means is a full metal sheet. Sorry, we got a call. So what these are is a full metal sheet of different sizes, different shapes. You can use a sharp needle, sharp edge scriber, or different types of scriber to actually fill in these holes. What these are more for is you can actually cut out and pull out this entire square, and you have that entire shape inside. You just put it onto that piece, tape it on the sides, and then just rub and then scribe inside the circle. It's like filling in the lines. You just cover that, scribe it, and then peel off that metal thing, and then use it for somewhere else. Now you have that perfect shape exactly on the next part. So that's pretty cool. There's also a lot of different tools to actually help you with. So these are actually scribing rulers. So if you can see, there's different angles carved straight into the ruler. So you can know, okay, I'm gonna put this right here, tape it, bam, bam, this is perfectly 45. Put it, take it on, put it over there, bam, bam, there's perfectly 45 angles. And then this one has all the different angles. And remember how I told you to work in these different 45 angles? So you can actually carve into it too. You can follow the ruler and then just make your lines. Just put it here, carve it, put it here, carve it. So they're pretty cool. They even have circles as well as grills and grates so that you can create your design. Please post these lives on your YouTube channel. Yeah. We're gonna download it and put it onto our YouTube channel as well. This one is the same thing as the first one. Well, it's exactly the same thing. Beauty brought me the same thing!
Do you have the magnet thing on it?
What?
The magnet thing that takes those things off? Oh, you do.
And other rulers that is pretty cool is these ones. So you see how there's all these different shapes. It's all curved and everything. These ones actually allow you to do like squiggles and curves around. The best part is you can actually match these to curved surfaces, like bending it and match it back to curved surface to get that perfect curve. Do you ever wonder how people online that's like getting these amazing curves around the arms that comes back and it's perfect, that perfect curve, and you're trying to do it and you're like flying all over the place because it's a curved surface. You're gonna scratch it and you're gonna try to carve in and then you're gonna come off, right? So that's how they do it. They just actually stick this onto it and then just do it. Or you can actually get these ones. They're made for this specific one. These ones are bendable. They have different kind of angles, so you can just stick it straight onto the curved surface and just follow it, and then it's exactly that kind of curvedness. Lack of better words. I don't know what other words to use for curve. For any of you guys that want to do some scratch building or some customization, you want to cut a gun in half or you want to cut a shield in half, and you're trying to do it with your hobby knife and you realize how difficult and extremely dangerous it is, yeah, don't. Because there's micro saws for those. These ones are micro saws. You can see how they have teeth on one end. Well, I'm talking about like these ones. They're micro saws, so they're saws that allow you to put it into your knife grip and then just gently cut. Because they're so thin, it gives almost no give away. Like they're trying to reduce the amount of materials that you're trying to take away from your kit. So you can cut perfectly thin into your shield or your parts or anything like that. So these ones are pretty good for you as well. And yeah. What other questions do you guys have? Oh, a lot of people ask me this. A lot of you guys ask me about this. I want a nipper. What nipper do you recommend? I heard God Hand is really good, but why does God Hand cost so much? What's the difference between God Hand and regular nippers? And what's the difference between regular nippers versus like stuff that you get from Home Depot? I can get a Home Depot one wire cutter and get it done with. Yeah, you can. In this hobby, to be 100% honest, what you pay is what you get. If you want stress-free convenience and something that just works, you get a hobby tool. You get hobby made specifically items so that it makes your life a lot easier. If you don't have time and you don't know how to figure things out, you don't want to deal with, you know, trial and error and that kind of stuff, get a hobby tool. If you don't care, get Home Depot stuff. You can technically do everything here with Home Depot stuff, but you just have to kind of improv and figure it out. And most of the time, from my experience, especially my own experience, I end up spending more money and more time doing something that I could have done by just buying the hobby thing in the first place. Especially painting. Oh my god, spent so much money wasted on painting. But learn my lesson. Anyways, difference between home hardware like Home Depot side cutters versus hobby cutters. Hobby cutters is designed to be more sharp. It's designed to cut more plastic only, and it's flat on one side. If you ever look at your cutters, your side cutters from home, right? If you ever look at your side cutters from home, you can find that the blades are like a triangle. There's always space at the end. If you ever cut anything, especially like using nail clippers, I've used nail clippers on my kit, and you cut it, there's always stuff left over. And there's always that white stress mark, that white torn part. It's because hardware side cutters are designed to just tear and destroy something in the middle. It's designed to just rip the plastic apart and get it over with. It's not to look nice. No one cares because it's to just cut something. But hobby nippers, they have flat edge, so you can control how far and exactly where you're cutting. The blades are more thinner, so that you can actually have more control on the cut, have better cuts, have sharper cuts. So what you're paying is exactly that blade length. The thicker the blade is, the more whiteness you see on your kit. The more whiteness, the stress mark you see on your plastic. So in translation, the thinner the blade means the less whiteness and the stress mark that you will see. The thicker the blade means the more uglier it is, the more work you have to do. A lot of people online, you will see the argument, oh, I don't need this, I sand everything, whatever. Yeah, you technically don't. You don't need it. We don't need anything. You just, if you want to get a nipper and reduce the time to sand by half, by a quarter, by 3/4, what is that time worth for you? So at the end of the day, you can go out and buy $1 nail clippers and get this entire hobby done. Yeah, you can. But, you know, do you want to spend, 6 hours sanding it? That's really what I'm getting into. Now, if you already have a hobby nipper, and you're like, okay, what is the difference between a God hand nipper? A hobby nipper, based on how much money you spend, is how thin the blade is. But it's still two blades that comes together and meet in the middle. So it comes like this. Some of the blades are like flatter, some of the blades are more curved, so that gets more of a like an angle cut. But at the end of the day, I don't know why, but at the end of the day, you still have that crush motion because the blade will come into the plastic. Imagine the plastic's in here. The blade will come in and then halfway mark, it ends up like, because it's like there's too much plastic, it ends up pulling and ripping the plastic off instead of cutting the plastic. So that's why if you actually end up taking your, go try it, take your nipper, cut on the plastic, you'll notice that half of the plastic is actually white and the other half is actually not, because the two blades come together and they end up crushing and cutting, and then they just rip off the plastic in the end. So that's what you get. So in comparison to God Hand is a very popular tool making company in Japan, and they created this amazing new thing where they're like, hey, this doesn't make sense. So they create a very thin blade, like the thinnest on the market right now, on one side, and the other side actually doesn't cut. It just stops. So instead of two of the blades that come together to cut and rip the plastic apart halfway, you actually have the motion of one slicing through the plastic. And because it's super thin, it allows the plastic to have less area to get pulled up, because the blade coming up like this, you end up pushing and you end up pulling the plastic apart. So you have a thin blade, it just slices through the plastic. That's why God Hand is so time saving. Like, I don't even sand anymore. I use God Hands. I use a normal pair nipper, cut out the piece, use God Hands, cut the nip, the number, and then cut, shave it, and then I just use a knife and just shave it off the rest, and that's it. That's all I do. Anything else that I want to do, if it's like a really like aggressive num mark that's just staying there, I'll just sand it off with a metal file or with like the sanding sponges and call it a day. But if not, then for casual building, for just straight builds, God Hand saved my life. It's so fast and everything. So that's the difference. Why God Hands is so more expensive, and why people are more encouraged and more willing to try God Hands is because of that. You might be thinking, well, I'm a casual builder. I don't really need such fancy equipment and everything. It's actually the opposite. It's actually the advanced builders are the ones that don't want God Hands, because they're the one that sands everything and primes everything. So they're like, oh, it's stupid to spend, and buy this amazing, God Hand nippers, because there's no point. I shave it anyways. I sanded everything. Yeah, it's true. It's their style. So you have to ask yourself questions. Are you the type of person to sand a piece from 400, 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, and then call it a day just for straight building? But even at 2000, you're still not going to get perfect surface. So you have to go more. You have to go 4000, 6000 to get that perfectness, if you're that kind of person. Or you can just settle by just using God Hands and just call it a day. So it's really down to what you guys want, what kind of builder you want. If you are a casual builder, if you are a serious builder, if you like to sand, if you don't like to sand, that's when God Hand comes into play. It's really for casual builders, the builders that don't want to spend so much time sanding, the builders that just straight build, or they just want to casually build and just stress relieve and that kind of stuff. God Hand is really there for those people. It's not really for those amazing master builders that like Frankenstein 16 kits into one and make this amazing art piece. Yeah, they don't care. They whatever they touch is gold. They can go to Home Depot and buy a metal pole and make it into a Gundam. Like they're god tier. So we're not going to include those into our level. So yeah, And the second question about, oh, I'm looking at gone hands. What's the difference between the red type and the blue handle type? The red type is PN120, I believe. Yeah. And blue handle is the SPN120. Those are actually. I wonder if I could show you a pair. Let me show you a pair.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. All right. Did I miss anyone? No. Okay, good. These are the two that I'm talking about. So, the red pair, the PN120, is the same thing as the blue one. The only difference, that red one, the blade is thicker. So you might be like, oh, that's better. Because it's thicker means more durable. But because it's thicker means the clean is not as close and it's not as nice as the blue one. The blue one is intended for your final finishing cut. So it's just to get rid of sanding or to save you time on sanding. It's really to just to cut the num mark exactly, just the num mark. It's not even intended for the runner, the tree, or anything. It's just for the num mark. But a lot of people are like, hey, I really like this nipper. However, I want to cut more stuff. I want to cut the tree. I want to cut thicker pieces. So that's why they came up with this one. So this is an afterthought. This is okay, we have this amazing product that everyone wants, but they want actually a more durable version to cut thicker stuff. So that's why they made this one. If you had to choose one or the other, just for one pair, and you always have to use it, and that's it, this one. Because this one gives you that nice clean cut at the end, and just saves you time on sanding, and just allows you to enjoy the hobby more instead of like frantically sanding and doing all that cleanup work. So this one is definitely my top recommendation for people to casually enjoy the hobby. This one is more for intermediate and advanced builders that they want that save on time, but they have materials that they work with that aren't just thin plastic. They want to cut screws, they want to cut this, they want to cut that. This one is actually made for those people. But if you're also a type of person that's like, oh, I don't really care for a super clean cut, I just want that super smooth, buttery motion cut, but I want to sand anyways, again, I guess this is for you, but it doesn't make sense to me. But again, you can do it. If you have a kid that you want to get them into hobby, or if you have really tiny hands and these ones cramp your style because they're just too big, there's actually a smaller version of the PN120. So they're much smaller in terms of size, and it allows you to actually control where you're cutting, and also the blade is actually shorter, so it allows you to cut in tighter spaces as well. And because it's much smaller, it less cramps on your hands. It's really intended for those people that have small hands, or do you want to really spoil your kid a lot. So that's an option for you too. Now, I think we are coming up to the end of the video. So to recap, we have a 30-minute mission contest with AK Interactive Products. We ask you to customize. You can paint. You can paint, or you don't have to paint. You can actually get away with just weathering your kit for your 30-minute mission contest. You don't have to paint it. We want to encourage everyone to try something new, because once you kind of go past that super mint out-of-the-box building style, you kind of feel more better about doing customized work and painting your kit once you kind of get past that. So join the contest. It's free. If you have any more questions about the contest, feel free to email us at sales@pandahobby.store, or to go to our website at pandahobby.store/contest for your more information. It's free to join. We're asking everyone to submit their contest entry online by emailing us at sales@pandahobby.store with pictures and everything. The deadline's around like April 9th, I believe, so it's really, really quick, but we understand everyone's stuck at home, so we just want to create this really quick contest for everyone to enjoy at home and to work together. So do let us know. We also have a Facebook event about the contest, so just click on attending, or if you're interested, just to let us know how many people are interested in, and so we can go from there. We have prizes going for the contest as well. And another thing is, we want to, over the course of a few days, want to do more workshops and more seminars for you. We want to teach you how to build, we want to teach you how to paint, we want to do all that stuff. But because our audience is split between Facebook and Instagram, and I know all of you guys don't have it for each other, let's go on YouTube. So please go to our YouTube page, Panda Hobby. Just search up Panda Hobby and find us. We're the only one with a little panda logo for our channel. And just subscribe. You need 1,000 people to actually start doing live videos. I don't know why. Like I tried to click live the other day, and then they're like, "No, your channel's too small," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sad. Come on, do something about it." But yeah, so do go to our YouTube page. Please spread the word. Get us up past 1,000 subscribers so that we can actually start doing this for you. We're gonna try to do more videos and reach out to you guys, so you guys have a good time at home. I hope you guys staying safe. Practice your physical, whatever they're calling it, physical distancing. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope you guys have a good time with us at Panda Hobby. And we are looking forward to continue supporting you and providing you with the best of Gunpla and plastic model from Japan. So stay tuned for more information. We'll hope to give you more or anything else. Bye.